Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
So here's the thing. Everyone has a secret. Like one time in 7th grade, this kid in my class told everyone he broke his arm fighting a raccoon. Cool story, except it wasn't true. Turns out he tripped over a scooter in his own driveway holding footing. Still, everyone believed the raccoon story, even the teacher. Because that's what secrets are, right? They're not just things we hide, they're sometimes the stories we tell instead. This episode is about secrets, from little ones like faking a group project, to big ones like the guy we talked to who may or may not have committed a felony. And yes, we asked a first grader what their secret was. Act 1, Whispers from the Playground.
Ellie, what is a secret?
Telling someone they have a secret.
Telling someone that you have a secret? Okay. Do you have any secrets?
No.
Okay. Is there a secret talent that you have?
Yes.
What is it? Okay. All right. Say bye, Miss Kylie.
I'm just tired.
Okay, first question is, what is a secret to you? Like, what is a secret? You don't have to tell me one. What is a secret?
Like if you do something and don't tell anybody.
Yeah, that's a secret. Do you like when other people have secrets?
Kind of, because then they can tell me and I can blab it.
You can blab it?
Oh, only to you.
Okay. Okay, do you have a talent that nobody knows about?
I'm really good at ring toss.
Yeah, you are. I did know about that though.
But nobody else does.
They do now, but yeah.
Well, but one person does. It's so scary. Hi, my name is Trinity and I'm 9 years old.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
What is a secret?
Something that is kept unknown from others.
Okay. Are you good at keeping secrets?
Yes.
And do you have anything that you secretly regret?
No, I don't.
Don't? Oh, alrighty. That's it.
Bye,
Thank you.
Okay, Act 2 is Teachers Are People Too. For this interview, we asked teachers about their secrets. Since teachers have a life outside of school, they may have deeper secrets that students don't know about. We also asked a student how they felt about teachers having secrets.
Hello, I'm Mr. Teal. I teach civics here at Marion High School. I teach almost nothing but civics, so only one U.S. history class, so I will teach almost every senior, and it makes graduation super fun and also super sad, but it's going to be really awesome.
So, what's one thing that you wish you would have done differently as a teenager?
My junior senior year was better at getting involved in like different activities and stuff like that. I know it's super cliche. I know like every senior tells you, hey, get involved as much as possible. I definitely looked back my junior and senior year and was like, I should have been on school paper sooner. I should have tried more in band sooner. I should have gotten involved in a lot of that stuff a lot earlier. And I really am glad I did those later years, but that freshman, sophomore year, I'm like, you could have done so much more, you could have had a lot more fun. So we're doing that.
Have you ever had a funny or embarrassing moment while teaching?
Oh my, yes. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I don't know, what do you want to hear about? Let me think. For embarrassing, I know that a couple years ago, we were talking 3 days into the class, I took a big sip of water and a student made me laugh and I shot it all out my nose. And this is 3 days into the class, and so I knew the student who made me laugh, and I knew a couple students I'd had before, but a lot of them were super new to me. So day 3 of knowing me, and I'm coughing up all kinds of gross, disgusting stuff. So that was pretty embarrassing. Otherwise, I'm pretty tough to embarrass. So which is don't. That's not an invitation to try to embarrass me, everyone. Okay, but like I know when people say that, you're like, oh my gosh, well we got to try to embarrass this guy. No, for real, super. Lots of fun stuff. Oh my gosh, what like. I don't know, I feel like all the teacher lip syncs are really silly. Like I always am like, what's the silliest, dumbest thing we can do? And then it usually kind of works out. Like last year we rickrolled everybody for everything, and this year we were like, let's learn bye because Deadpool and Wolverine's cool. So that's always really funny, silly stuff. I had a student pepper spray himself once, but I'm gonna have to go into that whole story. He thought, yeah, no, not good. Don't bring pepper spray to school, everybody. But apparently he thought it was his friend's perfume or something, and so he like this is years ago, not at Marion. Maybe it was, but I'm not gonna confess to being a Marion. He like went and like sprayed it, and then he like came back to class. And he was all like just crying and freaking out. He's like, something's wrong with so and so's perfume. I think it was mace, and I'm like, yeah, I think it definitely was. And we had to like call admin and get everyone taken out and stuff like that. So that was really funny, really weird. I hope it never happens again. I also had a student crack their entire gallon jug of water in my classroom, so it let a whole ocean into my room. And that was just, in the moment, really, you have to laugh. Otherwise, you're like, there's water everywhere, you know? So that's what I got. Hopefully that works.
What makes you different from other teachers?
I definitely high kick all the time. I think that's a big one. I check out Starburst. We do polls, which right now our board poll is just a bunch of miscellaneous stuff, but sorry, McKenna should just sign. Hang on, I gotta say congratulations. Gosh, that I met Juice World. That's probably something. I don't know. A lot of that stuff. Just. I'm sorry. I'm really this interview. This part rough answer. I feel like there. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of. That's what I like about Marion. I do think that there's a lot of teachers that are really good at like. They have something unique about them. Like Miss Herbst can do the splits, and like Miss Dunderdale does all kinds of cool fingerprinting stuff, and you know, like does that cool like arson project and things like that. And gosh, Mr. Rice is awesome at Rocket League, and you know, everyone kind of has their own things that make them unique in who they are. Just like you know, people are people. Like every student has something like that too. So I feel like definitely the high kicks is what I'm most known for. Being super sarcastic's another thing. Lots of starbursts, just being silly, all that kind of stuff. Super cool.
So our episode is on hidden secrets. So do you have any teacher secrets?
Like what?
Like, have you ever kept a secret from a student? What was it like?
Folks, I have all the secrets, everybody, okay? I just told you earlier, I am incredibly nosy. So like, I mean, for like kept a secret from a student, like I mean, yeah, I mean like FERPA laws exist. I can't tell you what someone else's grade is, so sure, I keep them all the time. But no, like there are tons of fun secrets I will keep. Like I knew that one student was gonna prompt at like a certain time, and like it did all the special stuff for it. So the whole time, like in the other student's journal, they're talking about like, I hope I get a great promposal. I hope this happens. And the whole time I'm going like, I know exactly what's going to happen and you're going to love it, you know? Or I do send-off days where I'll say goodbye to all of my seniors and stuff like that. And so there was one student, I remember a conversation I had with her freshman year. And I brought back on her last day, I said, hey, I remember your freshman year. You said you wish you could grow up and be like Mia Pirelli and you could be so inspiring to that next generation and how cool she was. And I'm like, and now that you're a senior, there are so many underclassmen who say the same thing about you. And I think that that's really cool. So I always have little like fun, mischievous ones like that, but it's always something sweet. It's always something that it's like, you know, or sometimes I'll just give people Starbursts and not tell them why. And it's always because of something. Like last year I gave a student a whole handful of Starbursts because she did something really, really kind. And I never told her what it was. And she like bugged her all year. She's like, graduation. She's like, what did I do to deserve all those Starbursts? I'm like, I will never tell you. And it was really sweet. It made me cry. It was really sweet what she did. So stuff like that, sure. Lots of secrets and stuff like that. But there you go.
Do you have any advice for people about keeping secrets or the burden that weighs about secrets?
You have to have a confidant, okay? You have to have someone who knows everything. So my wife Linz gets to hear it all, okay? We also have a friend in California named Alice who loves to gossip as much as I do. And so every couple of months we will FaceTime with her, and like the first hour is like, how's med school going and like how's life in California? And then the next like 2 hours is us just gossiping. And oh, actually, that's my wife Lynn's right now. Give me 1 second. Sorry, keeping secrets, Alice. Yeah, we will just gossip a ton. So you've got to have some kind of confidant. You got to have a couple in your life, and preferably somebody that's like you're so much of significant other that like they're never telling anybody. And then preferably someone who's like 2,000 miles away. That way, who are they gonna tell? But otherwise, you got to keep it really locked down. Also, if you never travel swore before, that's a really good idea. So like instead of a pinky swear, which is like, you know, breakable, you shouldn't, but like people do break those, you make them travel swear. I'll show you right now. Okay, so Maddie, if you and I were gonna travel swear right now, so instead of pinky swear, we put out like a pinky swear, right? We're gonna lock it in, and you're gonna say a place that you wanna travel to more than anywhere in the world. Where do you wanna travel to? Hawaii, okay, so now if Maddie breaks this, she can never go to Hawaii. There we go. So that'll lock it in. You know what I mean? That's pretty great. If someone's breaking that, then they're just saying Hawaii's never gonna happen for me. And if they go to Hawaii anyway, I believe they're struck down by the gods. That's what I've heard. I've never broken one. I wouldn't know. So that's what we've got. Any other questions on secret keeping?
I'm Dina Hudgens. I am a business instructor at Marion High School.
How do you feel about having secrets as a teacher?
I'm pretty much an open book. Like, I feel like people know where they stand with me, and I don't think I keep a ton of secrets.
What's something students do that secretly drive you crazy?
Oh, well, I might have a few of those. Asking me what we're supposed to be doing when I just finished going through the instructions and like showing them on the board and like walking through the instructions and do you have any questions? And then it's like, what are we supposed to be doing? Yeah, so that would be one.
Okay, I think that's it.
Okay.
How do you feel that like your teachers have like secrets that they like keep from you?
I think it's fine because if you keep the secrets, I feel like maybe they're supposed to be kept because everyone finds out everything eventually, but the real secrets are probably supposed to be kept secret, so I feel fine about it.
Do you think that it's fair that teachers know so much about students, but students know so little about teachers? Why or why not?
Yeah, because I think it's just the personal connection you have with your teacher. I mean, some teachers don't know a lot about me while others do, but that's because they try to get to know us on a personal level. I think if, as a student, if you try to get to know your teacher, they'll allow it.
Okay, thus far we've interviewed kids, teachers, and now we're going to be interviewing a felon. Kids, they don't really have any secrets. They don't really know what a secret is. Teachers, they have a secret life outside of school that students really don't know about, and they don't really know much about their teachers. And now we're going to be interviewing a felon who has a rocky past, and we're just going to be interviewing him about how his secrets have affected him and what he's done to, like, if he's buried those secrets, if he's open about his secrets, about his past actions in life, like if he's a new person now. And just about how the secrets have affected him. So unfortunately we were unable to interview him in person, so we just emailed him and asked him some questions. So the first one was, please tell us who you are and a little bit about your past and the person you are now. And this was his answer. John Steve was born and raised in the back of the yards community in the inner city of Chicago, Illinois. At age 11, John was influenced to join a Latin gang, which led to a violent, criminal, and drug abuse lifestyle. By the age of 13, he didn't have any spiritual support or guidance and soon became addicted to various substances. By the age of 17, he was incarcerated for a violent offense and did 5.5 years. Through utilizing various programs such as educational and substance abuse treatment while incarcerated, John turned his life around for the better. Since his release in 2011, John has continued to attend support groups along with attend church, and it has helped him maintain his sobriety. John has now been in a number of volunteer and community leadership roles and has been in ministry for 9+ years. John also gets invited to speak at state prisons throughout Illinois to share his testimony. John had found his calling to give back to the community, which led him to start Heron House of Hope. He is now the director of Heron House of Hope and has been utilizing his strength, hope, and experience to impact others who are in similar circumstances to achieve their goals. If you don't know what Heron House of Hope is already, it is a unique soup kitchen that provides daily meals, has a thrift shop, provides free GED classes, and just wants people to get on their feet and have independence without relying on Heron House of Hope. And then we asked him, what was the hardest part of carrying the weight of your past mistakes or secrets? And he said just starting Heron House of Hope and figuring out what his calling was, because he had been incarcerated for quite a while. I mean, 5.5 years is a while, but he just said that the hardest part was getting people to accept him for who he actually was and not his past mistakes or secrets. Question number 2. Have you faced judgment or stigma because of your past? How did that affect you? And he answered, yes, he has faced the judgment, and it was hard for him to get started on what he thought was best for the community and for himself because of the judgment and stigma around his past. He just said that he wishes that people looked past the judgment or past his past and just looked at him for the better. Question number 3 that we asked was, do you think people's secrets always define who they are, or can they leave them behind? And he answered that he was a perfect example of this because his secrets or his past secrets don't affect or define who he is. He's left his secrets and his past life in the past, and he said that he's rewritten his life and that he's followed Jesus' calling, and he's trying to help people be better and not follow his past mistakes. Followed Jesus' calling, and he's trying to help people be better and not follow his past mistakes. Sorry. What message would you want to share with people who feel trapped by their own secrets or past mistakes? And he answered that just be yourself and don't let the judgment and your secrets define you. Just move on and do what you think is best for you and your community. And just don't let the past mistakes define you. And if you want to see any more of John's interviews, he does have a couple podcasts out, and you can just look up John Steve, Heron House of Hope.
Hey everyone, John Steve, your director of Heron House of Hope here in Heron, Illinois. We're here just to tell you that we are more than just a soup kitchen. We've been able to establish not just a soup kitchen, but a food pantry, a thrift store, a free summer meal program, free GD classes from Johnny Logan Community College.
Here's a notable passage from the Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne that explores the theme of hidden secrets and the regret they cause, particularly in the character of Reverend Dimsdale. In chapter 17, it says, "Be not silent from any mistaken pity and tenderness for him, for, believe me, Hester, though he were to step down from a high place and stand thee there beside thee on thy pedestal of shame, yet better were it so than to hide a guilty heart through life." This passage reflects Dimsdale's inner torment and how his concealed sin, fathering Pearl with Hester, eats away at his soul. He acknowledges that confession, though painful, is ultimately more healing than the slow decay of guilt held in secret. In this episode, we interviewed children all the way down to a man who committed a felony. This episode was not just about secrets, but more about how we view secrets and the impacts they have. A child may not have any secrets or regrets about having secrets, but a felon might have regrets and burdens about a secret past.